What if someone you lost who had died returned? This episode of AFTERBUZZ TV is brought to you by the powerful and riveting new drama, Resurrection. You won't be able to stop watching or talking about it. Resurrection premiering on Sunday night, March 9th at 9/8 Central, only on ABC. You're not going to want to miss it.
Mr. Langston, did your son go missing, sir? I haven't. He's okay.
My son died 32 years ago.
What if someone you lost returned?
Daddy!
Honey, who is it?
Jacob. I'm coming home.
The television series event begins.
You're not the only one, there's others.
Tell the world.
Resurrection. Series premieres Sunday, March 9th on ABC.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Glee After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Glee After Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Glee. We have all been waiting for this moment, and by waiting, I mean months on end.
Oh my God. Finally!
I know. We are here with Glee, Season 5, Episode 9, Frenemies. I am your host, Roxy Striar. Alongside me is unfortunately not Stephanie Wanger, but it is Sarah Mendoza.
I'm here. Hello,
and
everyone.
Marisa Serafini.
Hello, everyone.
And we have Phil Spitak in the booth helping us out. Thank you, Phil. Yes, we do miss our leading lady right now, but she will be back, and she is missing Glee. Trust us, she is texting us
We're thinking
saying,
of you, Steph.
Yes, I know.
We miss you, Steph.
She is. So I just have a quick question. Guys, how did tonight's episode live up to expectations? Did it beat them, or did it fall flat?
It did not fall flat. I'm just happy that it's back. Honestly, I've been having withdrawals, not only from the show, but also from seeing you guys and talking about it.
We love you.
It's been
we love you guys.
How is it already February? I'm glad we're here, but seriously, the time.
Almost March.
Almost March.
I mean,
almost March, yeah.
If you guys are watching on the video, like, I am beaming right now because I'm so freaking excited that Glee is back. And I was with Roxy, like, all day today. And I think at 3 random times, I just turned to her and I'm like, Roxy, Glee is back today. I'm so freaking excited. This episode was so good as a returning episode. And I'm just so happy. And I'm just, I don't know, I'm ecstatic right now.
Marissa, you've been doing that all day. Try for the last 2 months. You've been counting down every few moments you pop into the room. You're like, Glee's almost back. I'm like, we still have a month and a half. You're like, it's closer than it was yesterday.
I know. She had like a little advent calendar going on, didn't she?
Seriously, she really did. Well, I have to say that I thought tonight's episode was awesome, which is great for me to say because you guys know that sometimes I can be a little nitpicky and have my problems with Glee, but I thought that it started really, really strong.
This is huge because you have high standards for a Glee episode.
I know. I thought that this was definitely the best episode since the quarterback, and I'm really excited to talk about it with you guys. But before we talk about this amazing show, we have another amazing show that I have a couple friends in the booth, Jesse and Courtney. They want to tell you about a coming up show.
Before we continue tonight's after show, I want to talk to you about a new show on ABC called Resurrection. What would you do if someone really important to you died and then came back?
Oh my God, I can't even imagine what it would be like if my grandfather came back and showed up on my doorstep.
Well, that's what's happening in Arcadia, Missouri. So the residents who have passed away in the small town are now coming back on the series premiere of the ABC's new drama, Resurrection.
You know, I think I saw a billboard for this on the 405. It's starring Omar Epps, and also Frances Fisher is playing a woman whose 8-year-old son, Jacob, returns to them after he's been gone for 32 years.
And more people start showing up. It gets really deep. Where do these people come from? How do they fit back into the world? How do people move on from this?
I don't know. It looks like it's going to be a really powerful and riveting new drama. I just don't think I'll be able to stop watching.
And I'm really excited because it's not about zombies, aliens, or anything else that's been done before. It's new, and I have no idea where this show is going to go.
Okay, then. ABC's Resurrection. Check out the new series premiere on Sunday, March 9th at 9/8 Central. You're definitely not going to want to miss the show.
I know where I'm going to be.
Okay, so as we said, check out Resurrection, but more importantly right now, we checked out Glee. We have a lot to talk about. We just were discussing how freaking excited we are, like cannot contain ourselves.
Oh yeah.
I love the episode title, Frenemies, because it made it very easy for us to break down the episode tonight. We are all broken off by frenemies, which is a very strange concept for people who are either A, living under a rock, or B, just new to the term. Frenemies combines friend and enemy, which is what we are doing, starting with Tina and Artie. Okay, Tina and Artie, brief history. Dated, didn't date, now we're friends. Correct? Is that a fair assessment?
Right. Pretty much.
I would not say they were big lovers, but they did have a brief history.
Little high school
Sometimes
fling.
lovers. I think that's what Artie said.
Yeah, sometimes lovers.
Or Tina said that. Sometimes lovers.
But Artie is now moved on to seeing Kitty. Mm-hmm. And Tina, who had her man crush on Blaine for a long time, I believe is single now. The reason I'm going over this is because after the hiatus, we all kind of need a little refresher.
Yes.
But that's where we are. And at this point, they are friends. And they are friends who reconvene for Tuesday lunch every week, which I love.
Which is sweet.
Yeah.
Because that's how they're keeping their friendship alive. After all the drama, they put it behind them and they just make it a point to check in with each other. And that's a good thing about friendship is you have somebody who can keep encouraging you and supporting you along the way. And it's cute to see that they've developed into that. They've let bygones be bygones, but they didn't work out romantically, but they're still together as friends.
Yeah, and I liked how this episode was more of a healthy rivalry, more so than the other that we'll talk about on like the other fight that went on. But like this was a healthy fight that they had between them, and a thing that like both elevated both of them. In
Absolutely, I think it's because Tina and Artie do have a lot of similarities.
Yes.
That friendly competition never really hurt anybody, but when you take it to the next level, there is a bit of an issue. But at this point, we're all good. We're here. We're eating lunch in the auditorium together, which we love to see because, of course, that feels like home to us. Mm-hmm. And they say that they're going to meet here and sing a chipper song every week to talk about things that are great in their lives. Right. I wonder if we're actually going to see this in weeks to come. I hope we bring back Happy Tuesdays with Artie and Tina. Tonight, we kick it off with Whenever I Call You Friend, which is very fitting to what we just spoke about. What did you guys think about the song?
I thought it was cute. I mean, I don't think we've really seen Artie and Tina sing together a lot over these past few years, but it really touched upon the relationship and where it has been and like where it is now.
I'm really glad that we kicked off the return episode with a really feel-good song.
Right.
It was so happy and upbeat and so true, like Glee fashion. Mm-hmm. We didn't start with the downer, and I don't think any of us wanted that.
And we have been and as you were just mentioning, in a couple weeks prior, well, I guess not weeks now, it's months ago, but a couple episodes prior, we did start off with some more negative vibes.
It was heavy.
I wasn't into that. We were into the Kenny Loggins, Stevie Nicks. We liked this little vibe. It wasn't like the biggest number ever, but it eased us back into a friendship that we know, we love, we feel comfortable with, and just kind of reminding us, hey, here's where we are right now.
Right. And it was sort of the calm before the storm of this entire episode after this point.
Right, exactly.
Because at this point, they're still supporting each other. He wants to encourage her to get into Brown, and she's encouraging him as well because he's going to go off to film school.
Right. Yep.
And everything's fine and dandy.
And we know she was waitlisted there, and he's believing in her and lifting her spirits. But I hate to pop this little bubble because...
But let's pop it.
I don't feel so bad because I'm not the one who pops it. It's definitely Sue Sylvester. Comes a poppin'. Shocker, right? Sue's never popped anybody's bubble before.
I think it'd be her.
Right? Wah, wah.
Very fitting it'd be her.
If this surprised you, you have not been watching Glee for all 5 seasons like we have. I mean, I was glad though because we see Sue, and she sometimes Jane Lynch's character goes a little off Jane Lynch. They make her instead of the frenemy, just the friend, and we're like, why is she being so nice?
Right, we get speculative.
Right, but this is Sue back in full force, and we're like, oh yeah. There she is. The Sue we know and love to hate.
And the Sue that always pits people against each other.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
So, I mean, it's one thing. So she brings them into the office, right, to tell them that they're pretty much exactly tied for this spot to be valedictorian.
Mm-hmm.
And
GPAs,
instead of, you know, not fueling the fire, she goes, well, now it's time for some healthy. Now it's time for some competition here. We're going to have a speech off to decide who the winner is.
Absolutely. And I thought it was very interesting that she did this, these two characters. You would think maybe Tina would get more dirty, but Artie would stay clean, but they both hit below the belt after they find out that they have to do the speech off. We have this moment where they're sitting there and they're talking to each other, and Tina is ripping Artie apart for dating Kitty and saying he's doing it to be popular and that she doesn't love him. And Artie is ripping Tina apart, saying that everybody in school thinks that Tina is the biggest bitch.
Right. Here's the thing, though. As much as I love both of them, Tina is always the instigator when it comes to these things.
Oh, yeah. But elaborate what you mean, because I think I know where you're going with this.
She completely started it because she was the one that first brought up, she brought the speech. She's like, here, I wrote your speech for you. And what is the speech? It's basically a speech for him to step down and not vie for the valedictorian spot.
She's the fire and he's the gasoline.
Yeah. Okay. So of course he's going to be offended because she does that. And she just keeps making it worse because I think she's the first one that exchanges disrespectful words.
Right.
Saying that he's a charity case pretty much for his current girlfriend, Kitty.
I have questions for you guys, though. At this moment in time, did you think one of them was going to win? Did you guys have a feeling that one was going to win over the other, or one was going to drop out? Or what were you thinking when you were watching this?
At some moments, I thought Artie was going to drop out because I think out of the both of them, Artie's the one who has the stronger head and will take the high road and just do the good thing for someone else. But because Sue had acknowledged that they're both so equal on so many different levels, that I'm like, I think they're both going to win, or in this case, lose at the same time.
But Tina made a really good point. I don't think she made it well, but it was a good point, that she needed it more. And that was interesting to me because I think that had she approached this differently and sat Artie down, or I guess that was bad humor. Artie's already sitting, so sat next to Artie.
I didn't even think of that.
Sorry, Gleeks, I had to do it. So sat next to Artie and said, listen, here's the thing. I love you. You love me. We deserve this equally. But you are already into school. You know where you're going. And other than a title, this doesn't do anything for you. I think that this will get me into Brown. And as my friend, I know this is not fair to ask you, but I would appreciate if you could let me have this one. Even though I'm not saying that that's what she should have done, I think if she hadn't done that, Artie would have said, all right, Tina.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I agree that maybe it wasn't, in general, maybe she shouldn't be making those decisions. But say that's her feelings, it's definitely in her delivery. Like, she didn't have to go there the way she did and be disrespectful to her friend, Artie.
Her frenemy.
Her friend. No, enemy.
But yes, but Artie did point out good points that Tina only applied to 3 different places. I mean, when you're going to college, you do way more than that. You apply to like 20, 30 places. You can't just rest on your laurels.
20, 30.
Yeah.
You guys are making me feel bad because I
don't know if you're not me, but
was a person that only applied to 3.
I applied to 12.
Actually, I thought of 5 for me. But you know, he did make a good point that Tina only picked 3 and that she herself wasn't well prepared. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, so Artie was kind of right in that sense, but the way Tina approached it wasn't ideal.
When those 3 include Brown as your top choice, it's a little different because these Ivy Leagues are kind of crapshoots, you know?
Right.
Everyone applying there is the valedictorian.
Like, what are the odds?
You know, yeah. And like she's saying, yes, she's on the wait list, but there's 2% of the people who get off the wait list. So you kind of have to look at that and say, I think I'm fabulous. I believe I should get accepted here, but I might not because of something that is completely out of my hands. Either nepotism, they don't like what my essay is about, they already accepted enough people of my minority. You never freaking know. So you have to kind of cover your butt.
You need solid backup plans.
Which at that point, though, I don't know whether they still could be applying to schools, but Artie should have said, listen, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Maybe I can help you try to apply to different places. It just, as friends, they should have tried to level with each other, and instead they do the exact opposite, and it's war. The only reason I liked it being war was because it means we got 3 songs out of them tonight.
Yeah.
So
We did.
Everyone.
I will take war because when on earth do you see Tina and Artie getting 3 songs in an episode? I was watching this with another ABTV fan. She doesn't cover the show here, but she happened to be watching next to me, and she was like, Artie's voice is amazing. And I was like, don't I know it? I mean, did you guys remember how great Artie sounds?
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, can we talk about the next song?
I think we can. Okay, so we've got My Lovin', which you are...
You're never gonna get it.
Yeah,
She
I was
was
going to say,
okay.
you're never going to get it.
You're never gonna get
I
it.
will just say, I was watching Glee with Sarah tonight, and she was singing every single word.
I'm sorry.
You knew that song like no other.
This song took me back to, was that the 90s, guys? Or was it like early 2000s? I don't know. But it took me back.
I want to say late 90s.
The thing about this song is it's all about the soul. Like, it's so, like, bluesy in the voice and, like, with the voice riffs that I can't do or handle. But
I believe in you.
Oh, no.
Thank
You were definitely doing it
don't
when we were
stop
watching
believing.
Oh, please stop believing. and stop raining on my parade.
Oh, my God. Okay, but he seriously killed it. He ripped it. He was so good.
Yeah, when he's, honestly...
But when is he not good?
Yeah.
I know.
Really good point. I thought that even if this song took you away, though, and you're jamming yourself, you're sitting there, you're having a merry good time, it's all fun and games, until, you guys know what I'm about to say? Because, Tina, you took that one step too far, honey, when you pushed Artie over.
Oh, my God.
I mean...
Hey, there was a lot of physical in this episode.
That got serious.
And that was number 1.
I mean,
yeah.
When you start a fight with verbal, that's different. But when it leads to and escalates to physical violence, I mean, we know that Tina didn't really mean it, and that did turn out to be an accident. But when it escalates to that point, then it gets serious. Especially for Artie being handicapped and then having more harm to him, it took it a little far.
It's got to be a little embarrassing, and when you have to rely on other people for help, you feel a little self-conscious. And if I was Artie, I would have made it a bigger stink about it. He was like, it's okay. But it obviously was not okay. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I do like, though, that the rest of the people in the choir room jumped in immediately to help him.
Well, of course.
That was great.
Of course. I wonder if we're going to learn more about what's going on with Tina, because, yes, we do all know she has a little catty side to her, but Artie seems to... Diva Tina. Artie seems to think, however, though, that it's escalated to a new level this year, and that the whole school knows it. Do you guys think we're going to be seeing a little more of that Divalicious Tina?
Yes, I think so, because we got it with Rachel and Brittany and Santana when they were all there, when they were seniors, and now that they're off in New York doing their own thing, and we have Tina. She's still the alpha female, I guess you can say, of the high school of McKinley. That she's gonna have her moment finally.
But
I think that's just in her character. She's always got the underdog chip on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And she hasn't been able to fully shake it because, unfortunately, she's pretty much always still the underdog from season 1.
But you know what? Like, after dealing with the other divas that she's had to, I don't mind her being a diva because she deserves that time to be the diva.
You think instead of diva awful, it's diva fabulous? Because her body's too divalicious for us?
Or maybe we just accept her for her diva-ness.
You know what?
Like, we've accepted her throughout the seasons to be that way.
Yeah, and you know what? And like Tina herself has gotten a lot of flack over the years, so you know what? I will give it to her this year.
Okay, and I do like that we see Artie and Tina in the auditorium, and then we see them in the chorus room. Hello, Glee, we are back because we are taking it to the roots. And then the next time that we see them, this speech, they're giving these speeches, and this is back in the auditorium. Again, it felt like home. It made me comfortable. It brought us back to, Glee, we're back from hiatus. This is what the show is about. But we throw in this fabulous twist. This was my favorite resolution of the Frenemies tonight. I really wasn't expecting this. What about you guys? The interaction between Tina and Artie and what they said about each other in their speeches.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking? Were you seeing that coming? Did you think that they were both going to snap out of it and play nice?
No. Actually, no. No, I didn't.
No.
It was,
and now you're thinking about it, and it was really enjoyable.
But they've impressed me tonight. This means that our Glee high schoolers are growing up.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I mean, they're graduating soon, you would think. But I really love their speeches. It focused more on the positive, like, sure, you're going to have those moments with your friends, but if you're really friends, you're going to put it aside and just realize all the good that you have with them, and you're going to encourage that side to continue on.
Right.
I think it kind of brought their relationship a little bit full circle, because if you remember in season 1, it was Artie and Tina always encouraging each other and saying positive things about each other. So I think it'd be often out of character had they ended the episode on a more angrier note with each other. And it's like, they have to, those two are known for always encouraging each other. So it's nice to see them do that again.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I also wasn't rooting for one over the other to win. I didn't know which side to pick. And I feel like I would have been disappointed if one of them had taken home the prize. Mm-hmm. And just the flashbacks that we got, each of them, they had something. When we see Coach Beast and we see Will and we see Sue even, Sue was a little more disgusted, but I kind of wanted to cry alongside with them, or principal, now janitor.
Yeah.
Now. I forgot about that.
He's another
for a
hyphen
minute.
in this industry.
Right. But I thought that was a really endearing moment.
Yeah. It was. And then leave it to Sue to kind of like just put a little jab in there to make it funny.
Sue.
That's just kind of got to be illegal, though, how she ends up handling the situation.
I now hate you both.
Right. I know. And instead, you guys, always there's so much going on in the show. Part of this almost went over my head. So what ends up happening, guys? What does Sue do?
So it ends up after their little speech off, they are still at a tie for valedictorian. So Sue says that makes them co-salutatorians and that the third place would now be valedictorian, which is, drumroll, none other than Blaine.
Perfect boy Blaine. I mean,
again.
The brains, the looks. That kid lucked out because...
Which he always does.
And he calls it out too. He's like, I don't mean to, brag, but things do get handed to me. And yes, it did.
I know.
They absolutely
Way
do.
to kind of annoy your friends more by saying that, though.
I
don't mean to humble brag, but...
Yeah.
Is it more annoying, though, to just be upfront and honest, or is it more annoying to kind of be just... shy about it?
I don't see the problem with having co-valedictorians, but I think that was just Sue's spiteful way of being like, well, I'm not going to give it to you, so I'm going to give it to the third person.
Sue was so bitter that they beat her game, and instead of fighting on stage, they beat her. She was like, haha, you think you won? Goodbye. You never beat Sue Sylvester, okay? And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
But then, of course, we all... as Glee does, it comes to a head and it's okay, and we have this amazing song Breakaway.
Right, because Blaine, he, after his little 5 minutes of gloating or whatever, he realizes, you know what, this should really be for all of us.
Right.
Because Artie and Tina deserve this just as much.
Right. And then we go back to the auditorium, which is where we perform, which is where I realize, oh my God, we're at the end of the episode, and... where is the rest of New Directions? Do they even have a role in this?
They were
kind of
all
our audience members,
backup.
and we just see them briefly, and I'm thinking, they're really, really sticking to the originals in this one right now, which was very interesting. We're not getting Marley, we're not getting Jake, we're not getting Ryder.
Not tonight.
Not
Unique.
Or Unique, exactly, and there's a lot more. I don't even know where Sugar is.
Oh, yeah. Where does she go?
I know that she's on Mixology is where Sugar is, but I don't know the rest.
You know what I just realized is that we didn't have the weekly assignment that Will always gives out. It was kind of something that was stemmed from Sue. All the songs that we're singing, and it goes in 2 different locations in this episode, but it wasn't that weekly assignment that we're used to.
Yeah, that is very true. And I'm sure we will get back to that for the purpose of this episode. I think that worked. I think we had the weekly assignment. It's very hard to tie in New York to these weekly assignments. And a lot of this episode was about New York.
Right.
So anything else we have to say about Breakaway or the Tina Artie thing? I thought that the song was well sung. It was nice that Blaine was in it because we hadn't got much of him. But other than that, we put a nice little bow on that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Wrapped it up.
So
They're
we
friends
can-
again. Yay.
Now we're moving over to NYC. We got this Kurt thing. So Kurt and his Pamela Lansbury band.
Oh gosh.
He's got. I always want to
He's so
call
adorable.
Elliot Cobra Starship, but that's not the stage name. It's
Adam.
just no Adam. What's the stage name? Starship.
Star Child.
Just Starchild. Starchild.
Close enough.
Starchild. Elliot.
He's a diva. Talk about
Gilbert.
divas.
I know. He's so many names too, but we're just gonna stick to Elliot right now.
Okay.
Elliot.
Plain Elliot.
Yeah, talk about divas. So we've got, I guess he'd be the equivalent of Tina right here. Elliot Diva is really full of himself. Not that he shouldn't be, because boy,
He's
is he
talented.
We got 7 songs tonight. 3 of them were Tina Artie. 3 of them were Santana and Rachel. That's all well and good. Fabulous. But I could have used a little more Kurt Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could have used a little more. I know that we're getting some more Adam Lambert songs in the future, so I'll be okay there. But that to me was like, ooh, give me more. But I guess that's good. They leave me wanting more.
But, you know, I don't mind that the fact that they only had one song, just those 2, because their relationship is so new in this show. And are they really friends yet? And so I think you have to build that friend relationship to even start having a fight or enemy within that person. So I think it's just the relationship is so brand new that we had the other people that in tonight's episode that we've seen so long.
And we weren't going to get a band song because, as we see, they can't have rehearsal because everybody's doing their own thing. So you're right, and we will see that. And so I will just have to sit here and hold myself and cry when I sleep at night until we get there. Oh my God, this show should be on more than one day a week, and it definitely should never take hiatus ever again because
Because you're killing us,
I know.
Fox. You're killing us.
I have noticed very much so. I love all my shows that I cover here at AfterBuzz. I really do. But the Gleek fans, you guys are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys come out hard at us.
So
and,
loyal.
And we love you. And if you are listening right now on iTunes, please rate, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Comment. We read everything.
We do. And we respond.
And we respond. We freaking love you guys so much. Like, that's why we do the show, because it's amazing. You guys are so awesome. Okay. So still going back to Kurt and Elliot, what do you guys think about Kurt's tactic here? So he decides, Elliot's trying to take my band over. So I'm going to cuddle up next to him a little bit and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Typical Kurt, or a little surprised?
Little surprised. Because I feel like Kurt is very straightforward with everything. He's not the sly with people. And if Kurt has someone, you know, invading his space, or if anything's out of place, he's gonna cause a fit. Be like, no, step out. You're in my personal bubble here, or whatnot. So I found it very surprising that Kurt went this roundabout way to find out.
Well, he
Elliot's
took
intentions.
it seriously when his fiance recommended the old adage, keep your enemies
close. It's friends close,
friends
enemies
close,
closer.
and your enemies closer.
Again, with the frenemies, though, I really like when this show, because unlike having something that Will assigns them as the main focus, I love when this show really ties it all together. Easy to understand the concept. It's just conceptually there. Frenemies. Again, we've got this frenemies thing, and we've got Blaine talking about it. We do everything but hit it over the head, you know, and we're all there. So Blaine does suggest that. I have a feeling he's going to come to regret that he suggested that, though, as we will talk about in a moment. But for now, Kurt's all, let's cook together, let's play together, let's hang out. When do you think Elliot became a little suspicious of Kurt's wanting to hang out around him all the time?
I thought it was the whole time, honestly.
Really?
From the very beginning. I think Elliot knows that Kurt has an insecurity about him. I think he's pretty obvious about it.
Okay.
But I think that he goes along with it anyways in the hope that he can create a real friendship with Kurt, and so that Kurt will actually start to trust him, so that, because that will benefit the band as a whole.
You think that's something he wants? He wants a friendship?
I think that he wants to create a friendship, and he wants to benefit the band as a whole.
Okay.
And this could be an opportunity for that.
I think it was when Kurt was mentioning he wants to learn guitar, and Elliot's, is very well versed in guitar, but like Kurt wanting to take up something that he's not used to, and what makes him with this newfound interest in guitar, and then bringing him to the guitar place.
Right, absolutely. I'm with you in the fact that Kurt's a go-getter, and anything he's ever wanted to pick up before, he's already picked up, if that makes any sense. I think that it was just a little off-putting. You guys know when you're sitting somewhere and somebody starts complimenting everything about you, it comes across as insincere. If you like my shirt and you compliment my shirt, I'm really thankful. But if you like my shirt, my shoes, my earrings, my hair, and my bracelet, I'm like, what do you want?
Yeah,
exactly.
Like it's a date or you want something else.
You have ulterior motives, or what are your intentions?
Right, and when you know that somebody has a boyfriend, then they're not hitting on you. They've got to want something else. So what exactly is going on? So I'm with you guys. I think that he knew very early on. Seems like a smart guy.
Star Child is a smart one.
Yeah, he is a little pompous, but I can deal with that. I think that you have to have a certain level of cockiness to be like A, sexy man in a band, and B, have stage presence like that, So we do get this song. It's from The Darkness. I believe in a thing called Love, and I thought it was what?
I was just laughing about the whole situation, how there was a pole there.
A pole?
A stripper pole.
It just happens to be there.
I have to say, though, this was my second favorite song of the episode tonight. Could it have been higher energy? No, it was such high energy. Could it have been more exciting and cool to watch? No, it sounded great. The two of them as counterparts was really interesting. I love the vibe. I liked seeing them actually, when they're sitting and talking, it was very fake. But as they were standing there singing, that's when the guards are actually dropped and it becomes real to me. Right. And that's what we love to see on TV and what we love to see in Glee and relationships forming. No, you Blaine and Kurt fans out there, I'm not talking about sexual relationships. Please hold the hate.
I know, I could hear everybody.
I know.
Just
relationships.
No, Roxy, you did not go there.
I know. Trust me, I'm a huge Kurt and Blaine person, so I love them. But I could see a friendship forming over a mutual bond of music, which is really freaking cool.
I have to say, I really feel like as different as they are, they complemented each other well in this performance. Adam Lambert is known to be a wailer, and this was like the perfect song for that. He really hit those high notes, and for some reason, I really think that it brought out the beefiness in Kurt too.
Yeah.
And they played off each other super well.
I thought so too, and I thought it was interesting how Kurt wasn't the one really singing the high notes, because we know he can hit them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had a little rasp in his voice tonight.
Like he took the lower harmony, which I thought was really interesting because it was nice to see Elliot built it, but we know he's capable of that. It
was really cool. I definitely agree with you guys. I think it was strange in a different way to see, and we have seen this before with other huge celebrities, Demi and a million other, Kate Hudson and whatever, but it was very interesting to me to hear Adam Lambert sing a Darkness song. I don't know, there was something weird about these two huge musical, it's not the actors on the show covering it, it's one musician covering another musician. It struck me kind of funny, but not in an off-putting way, in like a collaborative process kind of way. Do you guys know what I mean?
Yeah, it was for fun. And, I just hope that, every guitar center place or any musical instrument place, always rocks out like that.
So you basically
that would be
are
a
saying
dream.
You just want a stripper pole on every place you go.
Yes.
You guys have not seen Marisa dance, but girl can dance.
I was watching one of the behind-the-scenes videos for shooting that particular scene.
Of course you were. Gleek.
I'm such a Gleek. And so I guess they put the pole was there, and I guess Adam was like, there is no way I'm doing that. Kurt, or what's his name?
Chris.
This is all you. And Chris was all about it. He's like, okay, I'll work the pole.
Oh, he was the one spinning around in it, and that's number
That's
two.
why we only saw Kurt on
I love it. What teamwork.
That's hysterical.
Seriously, great teamwork. So after this, we do find out Elliot very kindly says, listen, Kurt, I really like spending time with you. This has been really fun. It's great to have a gay friend who isn't so weird. And you're my first one in New York and who isn't into me. And you are fabulous. But cut the crap. I know what's going on.
Right.
And I was like, thank God, because if they kept this up for episodes, we're
right. Glad he said it.
Right.
I was gonna get old.
But then we have kind of the real drama of the Kurt Elliot situation is they take this picture. I swear, social media these days, there were not nearly as many fights. Back in the day, back in the heyday, you know, like, what am I, like 5 years
Like
old?
we were even alive then.
I know,
Yeah, right.
but I hear stories, okay? Honestly, they take this picture and
Selfie.
Elliot, selfie.
Selfie.
I wonder if it was Selfie Sunday, because otherwise.
Or sexy selfie day.
Ooh, sexy. Elliot's kissing Kurt on the cheek. And that shiz gets uploaded. And Becky in Ohio sees it and shows Blaine. Of course, because Becky's the instigator. Thank God they added Becky into the episode tonight, because if I didn't see her, I would have been really upset.
Hysterical.
Becky, I love you, girl. I love you.
She's
Also,
like mini Sue.
Becky is on this sexual trip, dude.
Yeah, stop staring at my boobs.
Rock out with your Becky out.
Innuendos and hitting on everyone.
I know. It is true. But,
okay, sorry, quick question. Was it Kurt that took the selfie?
Yes.
Okay.
It was. And actually, they took two because Elliot was like, oh, I don't like that one. Do another. And they're doing like the little photo shoot. And Kurt's like, oh, I'm going to upload this one. What is your guys' opinion? So, not to break away from the show, but in life, have you guys ever been dating somebody where you upload a picture or they upload a picture and one of you guys doesn't like it so much and it becomes a fight?
Not personally, but I've heard about this so many times with my friends.
Okay. And usually, is it over nothing? Or is it there more to the story, you know?
At times there's more, but then sometimes it's just, jealousy and your imagination running wild with you when you see a certain photo and somebody's holding your boyfriend or girlfriend a certain way.
Right.
It's tricky. It's tricky. And I feel like because of that, people stop and think before they post now. Like there's a whole culture or like a whole like...
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
Marisa, what do you think?
I was going to say the same thing. As like, I know someone who uploaded a photo with someone else's girlfriend, and then it blew into this huge thing. But I'm like, the thing is, it was an innocent photo. And what tonight's episode, it was an innocent photo. But the thing that really got me was like, it was immediately after Elliot says, "I'm glad you're not into me," and all that. And then
Blaine didn't see that.
No, but then Elliot says that, and then he goes to do a fake kiss. I'm like, why would you do that?
Okay, but in all fairness, I would do that with my girlfriends, I happen to be a straight female, and if I was sitting with one of my girlfriends, even if I wouldn't, who cares? I would do like, oh, kisses, and upload that. But would it make it different if I was sitting with a guy and had a boyfriend and did that? I suppose maybe it would. Maybe. I just think people are very jealous these days, and I don't think that Blaine necessarily has a reason to be jealous. So I was glad he played the situation off like he's a little skeptical, but he wasn't like, oh, this is it, you know?
And he was trying to, make excuses. Oh, they're just friends.
Yeah.
I think that Kurt got carried away in his efforts to really befriend Elliot. And since Kurt and Blaine had been talking about his mission to do so, Blaine maybe connected, or he tried to make the connection that that's why that happened, because Kurt is trying to keep his frenemies close.
Right. But as we know on the show, it's definitely not the last we're going to see. They wouldn't have added that into tonight's episode if there wasn't going to be a little bit of an issue. And I just have to get your guys' opinion in advance. Are we sick and tired of seeing bumps in the road with Kurt and Blaine, or are we ready for a couple more bumps?
I mean,
it wouldn't be an interesting show if there weren't more bumps.
Okay.
I mean, any good, strong relationship has to go through obstacles and has to hit walls in their life. And if they are really meant for each other, both those two, then they'll eventually end up together in the end. But they're going to have to go around a lot of things. They're going to have to hit a lot of things to be officially together.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's a lot of growing pains that comes with their age, and learning how to be in a mature adult relationship.
Okay.
And it just so happens that they're engaged at their age, which just adds a little extra difficulty. and expectation.
A lot of
to
extra
girl.
difficulty and a lot of extra pressure. And speaking of pressure and situations that have gotten way out of control, let's talk a little bit about the roommates here, Santana and Rachel.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Did not see this one coming. We've been all hunky-dory with Santana and Rachel for a little bit now, and I've been sitting here like, I love these people. Yeah, sometimes I just do
Who did you just turn into
I
right
don't know.
now?
Hunky-dory makes you think.
I think she has a southern
I know.
alter ego
I
that
have
we
a
don't
lot
know
of
of.
alter egos, guys. Some of
love
them will
it.
come out to play sometimes. But anyway, apparently Santana and Rachel have alter egos because they are no longer friends. They are now enemies. Let's get right into this and start talking about, from the top of the episode, we see Santana miserable at her job. She can't book anything else because she did a yeast infection commercial. Boo-hoo. I'm sure that yeast infection commercial paid $50,000. I don't care. I would pretend to have any sort of thing down there if I could make that kind of money.
It's
Don't
a
care.
national commercial. Stop complaining, Santana.
Yeah, I don't care. Seriously, give me herpes. Give me whatever you want. I don't care. Put my
Did you
face
hear
everywhere.
that? Did you hear that out there?
That could be really taken out of context. Oh dear God.
Let's just like clip that and replay it.
And that's what you missed
Give
on
me
Glee. Okay, so we've got
really
that,
Glee.
and we have Rachel. She's trying to help her, and she's like, "Listen, there's this photo shoot that I'm doing. I can get you in it. Let's do this." And she's like, "Awesome. I feel guilty because what I did for you in high school, and there's that weird tension, but
glad we're friends now, and we've moved past it.
We're gonna do it anyway." Which is where we get this awesome freaking song. Love Sarah Bareilles. It's called Brave. And
song.
this was a really visually pleasing number. We've got some cool stuff going on with umbrellas and this photo shoot.
Costumes were on point.
Yes.
Makeup. Love her in the wig as Fanny Bryce.
Yeah.
Yes.
The wig that we know is a wig and not actually what she chopped her hair off.
The thing about the costumes is that what I noticed is that, yes, Rachel's in her Fanny Bryce outfit, but Santana's the only one in a printed dress. Everyone else, all the other girls, were in solid colored dresses. But Santana's dress definitely stood out among the others. And I think they obviously did that on purpose to make them, her and Rachel, on the same level.
What was the thing, though, when we see Santana's she's dancing in it, and then all of a sudden she's behind the camera? Was it like a dream that she was having, or
she had a daydream?
Was it a premonition?
She hadn't yet been on set, so she hadn't yet gotten makeup and wardrobe done. But she was imagining herself out there with Rachel, and that's why she always ends up near her, because she keeps imagining herself on par with her,
which is kind of the theme of their dynamic this episode. Right. So we see that one line. I just have to point out that we were just talking about. Getting full of yourself. We were talking about that with Elliot and whatnot. And one line I have to point out with Rachel, of course, she says, "It's really hard being a star." She doesn't say it sarcastically. She says it straight up.
That's the Rachel we know.
I honestly saw.
She puts the sunglasses.
I saw Leah Michelle poke through here a little bit and was like, "It must be, honey."
Or Rachel season 1. That's how she was.
Right, absolutely.
I am a star. I am going to be a star.
And honestly, though, she takes this very seriously. And the biggest question that I have in the entire episode right now for you guys is, are you Team Santana or Team Rachel with this situation? And honestly, you have to pick one. I'm going to lay it out really quick. Santana, Rachel, they go through this. Rachel, this is her dream role. She's always wanted it. Santana trying to make it big. It's a huge opportunity for Santana. Rachel doesn't offer it to her, but Santana goes for it anyways. Is Santana in the wrong, or is Rachel in the wrong for being mad at Santana? Which team are you?
All right, they're both in the wrong.
Okay,
but
we gotta pick one. We gotta pick one for
argument's sake. I will say Rachel, because beginning of the episode, she was being the good friend. She got Santana part of. Wait,
she's in the wrong. You're saying?
Yeah.
No, she's saying Rachel's in the wrong.
No, Santana was in the wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh.
But Rachel was being the good friend. She got Santana part of her photo shoot. She was sharing in a way, she was sharing her spotlight and her.
And Santana overstepped her.
And Santana overstepped it.
Okay. So here's another feud, because I'm going against Marisa on this one for the sake of argument.
Frenemies.
It's okay, because I still love you anyways.
Okay, so on this instance, I'm Team Santana. Because for me, like, all is fair in love and war. Like, it's just here's a role. Like, she's not trying to steal the spotlight. She just wants a chance at something. She wants a piece of something, and she's auditioned for the understudy. I
Right.
don't think she's going into it with the intention of knocking Rachel down, even though Rachel thinks that's what understudies do all the time.
Right. It would be a little different if Santana was going to audition the role of Fanny Bryce while Rachel was auditioning.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and try to take it from her. But even then, I'm just the kind of person who thinks I'm happy for myself when I win. I'm even happier for my friends when they win. If I can be the lead and she can be my understudy, and that doesn't affect me, you know, like it's not that Santana being the understudy takes away from Rachel.
Right.
You know, then, oh my God, that's a double win. That's a victory for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, and unfortunately they didn't see it that way, but I think Santana singing the exact same song that Rachel has sung twice already in the show, that was just kind of out of
Let's
spite.
talk about that.
That was out of spite.
So we've got Don't Rain on My Parade, or Rain on My Parade. Go ahead and tell you were just welling me. So what are you welling, girl? What you welling?
Well. So I think she sang the song because it's fitting for this situation. Period. And I think also and also the directors might have done it because they really want a true comparison between the two.
But we just saw somebody before singing it wasn't that song, I don't think.
But that is Rachel's song. She has sang that song twice in Glee already, and she's knocked it both times out of the park.
She did. I thought Santana did a great job. I typically, even though I think they're both very talented, I typically prefer Santana's voice, even though Rachel is just as talented. This song suits Rachel better. I think Rachel's performances were better on
I
this
agree.
song.
And the thing is, like, the irony, Santana's singing that Don't Rain on My Parade when she's clearly raining on Rachel's parade.
But then again, boom again, Rachel
Boom again.
Rachel
He's got a
is raining
boomerang.
on Santana's parade also because the whole time she's sitting there pouting about her friend trying to be her understudy.
Of course, but what neither of them see is, of course, what Rupert, the middleman, sees. You know, he's the one who casts Santana
He's
eventually.
so sexy,
and
by
he
the
says,
way. Can I just say, come on.
I know. My friend was just filmed
drool.
something with him, and I'm like, oh, he's so cute.
Okay.
But anyway, they were not seeing the bigger picture. He says, double the stardom. Double the stardom. It's not half the stardom because it's both of you. It's double the stardom. You know,
Right.
you're these two girls from the same small high school, and you produced this high school produced these two amazing singers who are now Broadway stars. Is that a sick joke? That is a story.
That never
You have
happens.
a story, right? And so I think that it's A, great to promote the show, but B, better for their careers. And people get so bogged down in me, they never think bigger picture, us, or where can this eventually take me, not where does it take me right now, which is a problem that happens in the industry all the time.
Exactly.
And why
Preach.
Bigger
I know,
picture.
Preach,
I know,
Roxy.
bigger picture. So although I thought she did a great job, I do think that Santana is more fit to be the understudy for this role.
Agree.
Yes.
But we do get to my absolute favorite song of tonight's episode. This is a Sting song. I think we did
Police.
we
Police,
yeah. Sorry, Sting the Police.
Every
And
breath
it's
you
called
take.
Every Breath You Take, and it is what we opened tonight's episode with here
Yep,
at
so good.
AfterBuzz because we love it so much.
It was perfect.
It was the duo. First of all, the competition between the two of them, trying to walk through the door first, one up each other, visually was amazing. And then when you closed your eyes for a second, which you couldn't do for too long because visually it was so great, the sound was like angels. I just I thought it sounded. I'm gonna go home and download it like this second.
Yes, and the thing is, like, I already love this song, and it's amazing how Glee hasn't covered the song yet.
No,
I mean,
let's
it's
keep
so,
that
yeah,
going.
Keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Thank you, Roya, in the booth.
The thing is, like, the editing was so on point too, because you saw them doing their rehearsals and whatnot. They're equal. They both had the same amount of time in rehearsing and whatnot, and you can't really, at this point, the audience can't really pick which one's better. And I love the doors, how everyone's like going in and out, and I thought the blocking visually was, the number was phenomenal.
Right. And on top of that, guys, like, I don't know if you noticed, but I also, in their acting performance, I saw a struggle from both of them. So it wasn't just like, this is so mine. Like, I also saw from them that they still care about each other, and they're like, crap.
Yeah.
Like, why are we in this situation right now?
I know, absolutely. And I do think that sometimes Glee sticks exactly to the notes, exactly to the performance. You know, we saw a lot of these music video remakes and whatnot, tribute pieces. This was an original cover, you know. This was really different. It was something that was a different vibe, a different thing, and about something different.
It had a different meaning.
Yeah, exactly. And I really loved the choice. I thought they knocked it out of the park, and I thought it was a great third number for these two girls, and it makes me just want to see more and more. Unfortunately, though, I don't love where it led, which is to Rachel. She's getting the axe. She's moving out. Kurt,
she axed herself.
I know
she did axe herself.
Kurt's trying to like middleman the situation, and it's not happening. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are working together now. You're going to see each other anyway. This is a very tense situation as is. I'm nervous. What about you guys?
It's sad where their relationship ended because we literally saw Rachel rip the photo apart visually. That was just that reinforcement that they, as a friendship, they are broken up. They're ripped apart, and
at this time.
But hopefully down the road they'll eventually make amends and get back together. It did not look pretty.
I just want to say one thing. Well, that's why I'm Team Santana right now, because honestly, Rachel is just being dramatic. Like, it was all unnecessary
It's
for me.
a little more than that, but I do know what you mean. I definitely think that this episode was amazing enough that we are in for a great rest of the season. Yeah. And we have a lot rest of the season because our hiatus was so long. We've definitely got a bunch more episodes to come, which makes me really excited. Let's quickly get into predictions. You guys,
and now
I'm going to throw this to you because I'm clueless. I don't know what's going to happen here. Any thoughts?
Neither do I. I mean,
Blaine and Kurt are gonna get into a little tiff over the selfie.
Absolutely.
It's gonna have some engagement drama.
Because all these relationships kind of ended on, do we think we're gonna find more breakups throughout the whole season?
Yeah, I think that definitely we're going to get some new directions breakups, and we still don't know what's going to happen with Marley, who she's going to be with, and whatnot. So there's a lot to deal with around breakups and relationships. We'll for sure have drama there like we always do, but that just excites me even more. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have for tonight's show. I know we could talk about this forever, but we will be back here next week, same time, same place. Before that, where can we talk to you guys in the meantime if I'm freaking out and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta talk to my fellow Gleeks? Where can we find you?
You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Serafini TV. And I just gotta mention, like, the Glee, they just celebrated their 100th episode last night, and my Twitter feed was blowing up, so definitely check that out.
Obviously, we follow them all.
Yeah,
of course.
So excited.
Blowing up.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Sarah with an H Mendoza.
And you can find me at Roxy Striar. And of course, again, iTunes, YouTube, rate, comment, subscribe. We are watching out for you guys, watching out for us. But until next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, Gleeks!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.